Hello everybody, thanks for stopping by. Welcome back to another Gran Turismo 7 tuning video on KCR-Mark. Before we get into today's build, I just wanted to take the opportunity of welcoming all the new viewers to the channel. Many thanks for stopping by, and to all the regular viewers, a massive thank you. I really do appreciate all the support and the comments. It really does make all this worthwhile. If you've not visited the channel before, we mainly do 600 and 700 pp builds for the Tokyo and Le Mans money grind events. The idea is not necessarily to make the fastest car every single time. It's more to give you options to try new cars out. There's hundreds and hundreds of cars on this game, and we walk through the complete build from start to finish, so you can follow it step by step. I do all the tuning sheets, I do the tunes myself. So like I say, it's just to give you an option, try new cars out. If you've got new cars in the dealership or the used car you want to try out and find a decent tune for, hopefully you can find that here. So in today's video I'm going to be tuning a car that's long been on my radar, but I've never managed to nail a decent tune for, but I think I've finally cracked it at last. The car, of course, is a Nissan Fairlady Z. The reason I persevered with this tune for so long is because I know how good the engine swap that you can put into it is. It's a 4.5 litre V6, it's out the Nissan GT-R GT500 car, and it's an absolute beauty. So today's build, we're going to be tuning this car to 700 pp to take on the World Touring Car 700 Le Mans. I think you're really going to enjoy this one. So first things first, we want to head to the Nissan dealership. It's a car that's available at all times, not massively expensive to buy the car itself. Next, we're going to head to GT Autos, where we want the wide body kit for 10,000 credits, and we're going to install the aforementioned engine swap, which is 600,000 credits. We're next going to head to car customization, where you want to fit no bigger than 20-inch wheels. This car does suffer a little bit from wheel arch clipping, so I advise using wide width but use standard offset. So really simple for aero parts, we're going to be fitting a Type A front splitter, Type A side skirts, Type A rear bumper, and for the rear wing we're going to be using a custom wing set, whichever size you prefer. It's just a cosmetic difference. Right, in terms of car upgrades, we're going to need weight reduction stage 1. We don't need power restrictor, we need the ballast. That already comes with the engine swap, so ignore that. We want high RPM turbo. We want fully customised LSD. We're going to use a fully manual transmission on this car. It just gives us a bit more PP to play with. The racing silence already comes with the engine swap. We want racing brakes and pads. We want fully customised suspension, brake balance controller is optional, and we want racing hard tyres. Also want intermediates, with it being Le Mans as well. While we're still in the parts store, I just thought I'd show you this weird little quirk with the tune as well. Fitting the high RPM turbo obviously increases power on this car, but it also inexplicably lowers the PP rating as well. So thanks very much, Gran Turismo, we'll take that one. Sending onto the tuning sheet, and this was a tune that took quite a while to dial in. It's not a road car that takes too kindly to having so much horsepower put through the rear wheels, so it was a bit of a battle, but we got there eventually with the suspension and the diff settings. The standard ratios on the transmission seem fine, so I've just upped the top speed a little bit on there. We've added some ballast to the rear of the car that not only gives it a bit more rear traction, it also gives the car perfect 50-50 weight distribution. So with the car all built, we can head to track. We're going to the World Touring Car 700 at Le Mans. Now the beauty of this engine swap is the fuel economy. The GT500's engines are incredibly good on fuel, and in this car you can do nearly 4 laps on 1 tank of fuel, so there's no need for any strategy really. You don't need any fuel map settings, you can go full throttle, there's no need for short shifting, and of course with it having 830 brake horsepower, it's incredibly fast down the straights, topping out at just over 215 miles an hour. So in terms of driving the car, I'd say the handling is really nice and neutral and planted through the corners. It's quite a heavy car with quite a bit of downforce. you do need to be careful under braking and acceleration. Just be very careful and precise with the inputs. It's a road car with 840 brake horsepower, remember, so a little bit of caution is needed. I found it really good fun to drive. It's really engaging and good fun, but just be careful, it can bite back. Now, I won't go too in depth into the race. This video is more about the build itself. I'm sure you're aware of how the race pans out. On this particular occasion, I've got quite a lot of rain coming on, as you can see from the weather radar, so I decided to pit for intermediate tyres at the end of lap 3. Fuel wise, the car could have done another lap, no problem at all. So as you can see from the weather radar, the second half of the race was extremely wet, so I got to test the car in both dry and wet conditions, and it was enormous good fun in the wet, I have to say. I really enjoyed it. Again, be very, very careful. I'd strongly advise using some traction control. I had it on, I think, level 3. It doesn't seem to interfere with the car too much, but it's pretty essential because it can be a little bit loose in the wet, but as I said, great fun to drive. So I'll skip forward to the end of the race. As you see, I've done another pit stop on the penultimate lap, but that was just purely to change tyres. The intermediates were dying on the drying track, and there was no need to put any more fuel in. The car will do one stop, no problem at all. So close the race off with a fairly comfortable victory. No fastest lap really to speak of, with such a lot of rain affecting the race. So at the very end of the video, I've done a fastest lap, which I did on a time trial. It's all exact same settings as this build. So if you need any pointers as regards to braking points or lines, you'll find that right at the end of the video. Hope that helps out, and I hope you enjoy the tune. Let me know how you get on in the comments. I always really enjoy reading the comments and try and respond to them as much as I can. So in the meantime, many thanks for stopping by, and I'll see you again soon. Cheers, bye.